Suppose you're a young Brazilian boy with dreams of becoming famous. There are at least two ways to do that. One is through soccer, and the other is through motor racing. Emerson Fittipaldi followed the latter route when he became a racer and won the 1972 Formula One Drivers' Championship, the youngest driver to do so at that time. But unbeknownst to a lot of people, the now 70-year-old Brazilian also had another dream. He wanted to build his own GT sports car. And now, 45 years after winning the F1 title, he's crossing off his second dream at the 2017 Geneva Motor Show with the introduction of the Pininfarina Fittipaldi EF7 Vision Gran Turismo track car. It might be easy to scoff at Fittipaldi's hopes and ambitions if you're an automaker that routinely produces performance cars, but for someone who literally started from scratch and relied on the help of so many partners to get his project off the ground, the sight of seeing the car on display in Geneva is nothing short of a crowning achievement. Fittipaldi himself was overcome with emotion when he helped unveil the car, calling the occasion the happiest day of my life, before adding that his dream of building a GT car actually preceded his goal of becoming a race car driver. That tells you a unique backstory of the EF7, the kind that people will be talking about for years, provided of course that the track car carves out a legacy as rich as the one its creator etched during his exploits in Formula One. More importantly, the car is also a reminder that as long and accomplished a life as Emerson Fittipaldi has lived, he is proving at the 2017 Geneva Motor Show that no matter his age, no dreams are worth giving up on, even if it takes you a while to accomplish it. Say what you will about the rather emotional slant of this story, but every so often we need to be reminded of such things, right? After all, when you look at the EF7, you can't help but remember who created it and the long road that he traveled on to get to this point. Okay, enough wistfulness for now. Let's take a look at the car. On the surface, the EF7 looks like a bona fide GT track car. It's got a super aggressive front section, sweeping curves that run for days, a low profile, and a noticeable rear wing at the back. In other words, it's a masterpiece from the design wizards over at Pininfarina. The interior is flagrantly Spartan as you'd expect. I for one am not too fond of that brown Alcantara wrap on the racing steering wheel, but if that's what the car's having, then that's what the car's having. On the positive side, the EF7 does have thin shell carbon seats will inevitably be fixed and individually fitted to owners with pads. There's a range of tech also available to the car, including traction electronics and adjustable ABS, which is an important tool considering that people who might end up driving it on the track will probably have a wide variety of track skill sets. Moving on, the F7's technical features is highlighted by a 4.8-liter dry-sump V8 engine that produces 600 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. No performance numbers have been revealed, but since Fittipaldi wants the car to weigh no more than 2,300 pounds wet, the car should be blazingly quick on any track. All that said, arguably the most important piece of news about the EF7 is that there are actually plans to build it. That's right. Fittipaldi Motors LCC, the company that Fittipaldi started to get his dream of building a GT car off the ground, has plans to build 39 units of the EF7s, all of which as track cars. Even here, there is some significance attached to the 39 units since it's one unit for each of his race wins in both Formula One and Indy Car. Not only that, but every owner of the EF7 will also receive personal track instruction from Fittipaldi himself. The caveat, of course, is the price. Since there's no information on that front either, I think that with everything that it has and the limited quantities of production, the EF7 could fetch a price in excess of 7 figures. At the very least, even guessing $500,000 seems like a conservative estimate. The good news for the rest of us, there is a chance to drive one, thanks to Gran Turismo's Vision Gran Turismo series. And wouldn't you know it, but the EF7 will have a prominent role in the video game franchise's upcoming Gran Turismo sport game.